Hi everybody, we're back, and today I am going to be doing the full moon reading for August 3rd. We're still in July right now. I'm going to put this up a little bit early. This is another emotional moon. It's the full moon. Full moons are always closing things out. It's about ending things and having that period before we come back into the new moon with the new beginnings. So we're on the full moon, closing things out. Full moon's in Aquarius. Aquarius is a water sign. Aquarius is the most humanitarian sign, they say, in the zodiac. You know, the positive aspects of the Aquarius. Water signs are always about emotions. The moon is always about emotions. So again, we have another emotional full moon. So there's that. Aquarius is the humanitarian, the healer, the thinker, the great thinker, right? So these are the aspects of Aquarius. The moon is in Aquarius. So that's the healer, the thinker, So the sun is in Leo. Leo is a fire sign. Leos are emotional, sensitive, caring. The downside to Leo is, because they feel so much, they can sometimes lean towards depression because they feel a lot, they feel deeply. And sometimes arrogance. Leo's the lion. So, royalty. But so you've got a sun sign that though it's fire, it's a sensitive sign. And we have the moon, which is emotional. It's our sensitivities, right? In a water sign. Waters are emotion, moon's emotion. So we got some emotions going on. And Mercury is going to be opposite Saturn about 5 hours after the full moon comes into effect. 5 always represents change. Always. It does. So 5 represents change. The basic gist of this moon and what's going on is unexpected changes that can come in ungreat feeling ways. Women are apt to feel this more. But anyone can, depending on what your chart is set up as. So women are apt to feel this more. So the emotional changes, it can be a bit of a shit show. But basically, the gist of this is, don't make any spur of the moment decisions. Hold off and wait. This moon's energy is going to go for a couple of weeks right into August 18th. So it's going to be an ongoing energy, and you may already be feeling it. So one of the things that will come sharply into focus is, for a lot of us, if we're really feeling this moon, family, home. So if those are the things that are in focus, relationships, and this is an emotional moon where changes can come about, and if it's a moon that can bring about changes that don't feel that great, then watch for moodiness and overall grumpiness and overreactions with your family and your loved ones, with the people that are close to you. But hey, you know what? Watch for them out there too. Because you could be out somewhere and someone is feeling all this crap. They wouldn't take it out on their spouse. You look like a good target. So watch for it out in the world. Be conscious, be aware. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your feelings. Be aware that these are the energies at play right now. So one of the ways that we can maneuver through energies like this, and this energy, the moon phase, supports this, is by staying positive. Being flexible, being adaptable. So I'll give you for instance, we just had this happen here at our house. Like I said, you might already be feeling this. Could already be coming into play. We got a sudden change. Dropped. Boom, out of the blue. Something was supposed to happen, was all set up to happen, And then when it was supposed to happen, oh, by the way, this is not happening. And it was sort of a big deal. And it was a little irritating. I mean, because it was irritating. But what we did was we talked about it and validated the feelings around that. And then we said, all right, let's be grateful. Let's be grateful because this happened for a reason. So there was some reason, something in that wouldn't have been good. If that had gone through, there would have been some sort of shit show that would have come from that. So let's be grateful. And let's trust that the universe is going to set something else in front of us that's going to take that and we're going to be grateful for this. It's going to be better than that. So that's what we did. And, you know, we focused on it. And it's hard sometimes. You don't always, you know, staying positive doesn't mean that you're all fluff. I mean, it doesn't. Sometimes it's work. But we just had to trust. And it turned out okay. Within 24 hours, something else got dropped in and took that place. So it turned out okay. So that's the flexibility, the adaptability, trying to stay positive, trying to keep your mind positive. So if you have these ungreat changes that come in that don't feel good, try to move with it. Something better might come in. And the moon is supporting that too. Remember, this energy is going to go on for a couple of weeks. So yes, continue to watch your mood and others. It's the best way that we can protect ourselves, right? Because not everybody's self-aware. And it's not their job. That's not what they're here doing. They're here doing something else. Some of us want to be self-aware so that we can maneuver through life rather than reacting to it. So anyway, there's a little bit of a rundown there, okay? And I'm going to take the top card off of the Deviant Moon deck. This is moon reading. And the Fool. Alright, so this supports what we were just talking about. We were just talking about changes that can come in and how things might not feel great. The moon is saying, don't make any rash decisions right now. The energy around that is saying, we're not supportive of rash, quick decisions. The other piece of this moon is the energy of this moon. It's going to make you feel antsy. It's going to make you want to, like, push through and push into things. And you're going to feel like there's a lot of things a lot of energy. It can make you feel conflicted. It can make you feel like you need to just get up and go and get something done. You need to do it. Who knows what it is? Could be you signing the papers for the house. Why hasn't this happened? I'm feeling very conflicted. I want to get this done. Don't hurry it. Don't hurry it. Stay. Allow it to happen in divine time, because this moon is saying, watch out for signing of the papers. Watch out for doing those things. The Aquarian moon, the thinker, put some good thought into things. Be positive. Put those good thoughts in there. But we don't want to be playing the fool. We don't want to make rash decisions that we then later regret. So that's exactly what this is saying. Be careful. Don't play the fool. Don't play the fool. Okay? So I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to give 2 more cards off the Deviant Moon deck today. And I'm going to shuffle again. And I'm going to take another one off the top, and then I'm going to shuffle again, and I'm going to take another one off the top. So that's how we're going to do it today. Yeah, so don't play the fool. Don't make rash decisions. Be flexible. Try to stay positive. Be adaptable. Watch for moodiness. Watch for moodiness. Yourself and others. Sadness, loneliness, depression, disagreements. There might be delays in things, difficulty in communication. These are all things to watch for. Okay, so we might want to take a little extra time to be thinking of our words. Kind words, positive thoughts. Kind words are really encouraged right now. Kind words. You might find yourself feeling drained. That conflicted energy, it's here already. I've been feeling it. I mean, it's already here. So it's going to get stronger as the moon approaches. All right. The card off the top, okay? Ooh. So, oh, look at him. Sorry, I've been suffering with allergies. So this is the wands. Wands always represent the journey. This is the 10, and if you see, he's picked up all of his sticks. So he's ending something. Something's coming to pass, and that's what full moons are about. So something's coming to pass, okay? Something's going to end. We're finishing things up. We're finishing a cycle. That's what full moons are about. New moons are the new beginnings, and full moons are finishing things up. So whatever's clearing out was dead. So whatever projects were, you know, we may be in the midst of like saying, I don't know that I want to keep doing this, you know. And I had said with the last new moon, remember I said, I can't remember what card we got, but I do remember a little bit about it. I remember that it was about, it was following our path. That's what it was. It was following our path. And perhaps we were making some changes. And, you know, it might feel a little scary, but, you know, there's life in that path. I would say, as the reader, I would say that this card is directly linked to that. Yes, we're making changes, we're following our path, and in doing so, some things may be coming to end. This moon may actually enhance that. It may happen faster than we thought. It might end in a way that doesn't feel good. It might happen spontaneously, abruptly, in a way that doesn't feel good. Let's stay positive. Let's stay focused. On that positive thought. Let's be adaptable, okay? Let's be adaptable so that we can make room for the new, for what's coming in, okay? So that's what that means. Now remember, we're not going to play the fool, right? We're not going to do anything rash. We're going to use that Aquarian energy. We're really going to think things out before we make any big decisions, especially if it has anything to do with signing anything. Okay? All right. So now we're going to do the third card. Lots of self-love and nurture whenever it's really an emotional moon phase that's going to create a little dissidence and discomfort and self-nurture, self-love. We can't get enough of that anyway. Even if things are good, even if things are awesome, self-nurture and self-love is so key. It's really key. All right. Let's see what the next card brings. Right off the top, okay? The Page of Swords. Remember what I told you? Aquarius, the thinker. The great thinker, the healer. The healer, the most humanitarian sign in the zodiac, they say. So, swords are always about the mind, the thought patterns, the thoughts. So this is the Page of Swords. I just want to look too because I love these cards. I think they're so pretty. And I can't really ever see them very good when I'm holding them up to you. So it's upside down. It's internal, okay? So the Page of Swords. And that kind of matches with our sun's energy as well because that's some royalty, the Leo. But use your thinking in a manner that can help you. And we've already talked about that right before we started doing the cards. The moon is supporting critical thinking. Critical thinking. The moon is supporting reflection, the thought process. Really getting into ourselves. Healing that conflict. Trying to stay positive and healing this conflict that we may be feeling. The conflict's probably about, you know, something's coming to an end, we're cleaning things up, and we're changing some things. And with the new moon, we were like, ooh, this feels a little scary. Well, now we're at the phase of things where it's like, as my dad would say, shit, I get off the pot, basically. And so we're picking these things up, and we're ready to start that new phase of things. But we don't want to do it irrationally. We don't want to do it in a way that we're jumping in and not really analyzing things. If this new moon brings about these endings for you in a way that feels abrupt and doesn't feel good and bothers you emotionally, please, 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 please try to stay focused and trust the universe to give you something better. Trust that that's what you're moving into is something better, okay? So use your thoughts for your critical thinking. Don't play the fool. Don't sign any big deal paperwork. You know, don't buy that truck and sign for it right now. Don't wait. I mean, good things come to those that wait sometimes. So don't sign the mortgage. Don't do anything big right now. Hold off on that stuff. And, you know, this moon phase supports, like I said, it supports critical thinking, and it supports study. So before you make any big decisions, delve into a little bit of study. Studying is good. Jeez, there's so much I'm trying to remember to tell you. But you know what? I'm just gonna trust that. I'm just gonna trust that we get it all out. We're gonna hear what we need to hear today. So if I don't remember everything about the moon to tell you what's going on with the energies of the moon, it's probably not needed. So, alright, so now I'm using that really pretty deck that I used last time. My son gave it to me. It's the Light Worker Oracle deck, and it's really pretty. And I thought with a card reading that it is preparing us all for our own moodiness and unrest and feeling conflicted, and possibly other people feeling conflicted, and maybe changes coming about in a way that don't feel good. I thought we could use a little light in our reading. Just trying to give us that moment of light. So anyways, I'm going to take a card off the top and see. And it says the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. Alright, so I already talked to you guys about 5 always represent and change. You know, in those 3 cards that we just got, we got the intellect, we got the swords, the page of swords. Okay, so our guides, our God, the universe, everybody. I'm going to see if I can hold this up for you. Can you see that? It's upside down. So it's the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge. And if you look at her, you can see that she's shining, right? She's shining. And the people around her, if you look, don't look so well. They look a little unwell. Not doing so good. So basically the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge is telling you to unplug. So this moon can be difficult. We could be emotional as it is. And the fifth ray of intellectual knowledge is saying kind of unplug from social media. Social media can sometimes be really depressing as it is, and people's dumping grounds sometimes for just not the nicest things. And when we're at a time of unrest, which is what it feels like often these days, the unrest, there's a lot of stuff that you might find on social media that doesn't make you feel good, and it's coming from people that don't feel good either. We just gotta have compassion. Everybody's struggling right now, and we're just all trying to figure it out. But if we want to feel good, if we want to feel good, we're being encouraged to unplug from that. We're being encouraged to nurture ourselves. 5, again, I'm just going to say, great change, right? 5 is always about change. This moon is about change. And this card is about change. It's about you changing. It's about me changing. It's about anybody that tunes in here. It's about change. Which also fits the something really is coming to end. Completely ended. There's no life in that journey. It's just, the sticks are all dead. The wands are all dead, which represent the journey. It's come to end. We've picked them up. We're lugging them off. We're probably going to make a nice fire with it and enjoy it later, because in the end, we're going to feel relieved that we chose to move on from that. But that doesn't mean that it can't feel difficult when it's happening. So, this card is asking that we take care of ourselves. Kind of tap in, try to stay positive, and we're receiving that ray. We're receiving the ray of intellectual knowledge. So whatever you want to call it, inspired thought, divine guidance, clear knowing, psychic knowing, whatever you want to call it. I don't care what name you put on it. We're receiving it. So allow us to receive that information, and stay positive. That will help us maneuver with whatever changes come about. So it's not about being in your head space and your ego space. It's about being open to that knowledge that comes through to kind of fill you up, give you something positive to focus on, and pull away from whatever's not feeding you. But this is definitely a card about unplugging. So try to get into nature and nurture yourself. It's important. I'm going to give us another card, because these, I wish I could just always do a card reading and say, oh, everything's so positive. That's not life, is it? Life, no. And we get a lot out of these moments. Like I had a terrible time. I had a lot of things that I was feeling with that last full moon. And I got a lot of growth spurt out of it, even though it didn't feel good at the time. It was a tiny growth spurt. I didn't need to carry it for years or months to struggle with the same thing over and over again before I finally opened my eyes up and said, Lori, what are you doing? But it still didn't feel all that great in the moment. So I'm going to give us that positive. I'm going to end this with our positive affirmation with the Dolphin Mermaid deck. I really feel like we need the extra bump of light. We got the messages. I think I've relayed everything of importance about the energies at play. The biggest thing that I can say is another big thing that I can say. It's not the biggest, because everything is of importance. What I relayed to you about the moon, but if there's an imbalance in a relationship, it's probably, the moon's energy is supporting us finding out about that right now. So, and when I'm talking about changes coming around, I'm talking about emotional changes. Like things that can really upset you, whether it's your relationships or something in your job, or something in your relationships with the people at your job, or it's going to be something that can upset you. If that happens to you, might not. I'm just saying, these are things that can happen during a phase like this. So watch for them, and if they do, stay positive. So it will turn itself around. That's how it can turn itself around. It's through us being positive. All right, so I'm going to take a card off the top. Positive energy. It's the pretty one. It's the dolphins. Surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. So that's just, that's just more validation about what's going on energetically with the moon and the sun and things and this year. Bringing about balance. 2020 is about bringing about balance into our lives. So there's going to be a lot of these emotional phases that we're going through because it really is about bringing in balance and harmony. So if a job doesn't feel good, it's probably going to be weaned away from us if we allow it, if we allow ourselves to move with change. If our relationships aren't fitting us, they're probably going to move away from us if we allow it. Or, they may not even move away from us, but the imbalances may be brought up so that we can heal them and make the relationship stronger. So, it just depends. It's about bringing balance into our life. It's about bringing back in some time. It's about feeding ourselves, nurturing ourselves, taking care of ourselves. So these emotional full moons, we've had 2 in a row. We'll see what happens with the next one. But the message is, no matter what's going on, try to keep that positive energy. Okay? So, quite a lot of information, I realize. Quite a lot going on with the moon. I hope that you enjoy this. I hope it resonates. I hope you all have, a great weekend. I hope that you're all able to pull in that positivity and nurture yourself. And remember that just because the full moon happens on the 3rd, it doesn't mean that the energy of the full moon is just going to be over with after that, because this is supporting the energies straight through into the 18th of August. So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope this resonates, and I hope you all have a great, great day. And, just enjoy this day and every day there forward, and be as positive we can get in the next few weeks. All right, guys, I will see you again for the new moon reading. The full moon ending things, and I'll see you again for the new moon, new beginnings. All right, take care, guys.